Yes, sir. Now we are live. We are going to start the session. Good morning and warm welcome to one and all who present here in this webinar on human resource development in higher education after COVID-19. I, Dr. Om P. Joshi, on behalf of Bhakt Kavi Narsi Mehta University, warmly and respectfully welcome to our esteemed guest and our Honorable Education Minister of Gujarat, Sri Bhupendra C. Chudasama Sir, Principal Secretary, Education Department, Government of Gujarat, Anju Sharma Ma'am, Special expert and treasured guest, Ms. Parin Somani Ma'am, our eminent expert and renowned speaker, Professor Dr. Jagdish Joshi Sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor of the University, Professor Dr. Chetan Trivedi Sir. I welcome all those who contribute to make today's webinar a grand success and all the participants. I would like to make all the participants familiar with today's webinar topic and theme, and then we will start today's discussion by honorable expert speeches. This is a changing era of Indian society as well as the entire structure developed under the efforts of skilled human resources and development of human resources. After the 4 successful lockdowns in India, it has largely impacted the human resources working in various economic structures. In fact, while the lifestyle of Indians is going to be changed, it needs to focus on various aspects of education and skill development of human resources. For over many years, Indian policies have focused on the development of human resource for nation building. India come out from the many human and natural challenges, and it is due to the educated and skilled professional in various fields. Today, in the changing scenario, India has to face many socio-economic challenges. In between, further educational steps and policies will help to come out from the various issues raised due to Corona. This is the reason that Bhakt Kavi Narsi Mehta University has organized a webinar on human resource development in higher education after COVID-19. We have invited 2 experts to sanitize to the students, researchers, and academicians about the above mentioned topic. Next, it is my immense pleasure to invite our honorable, young and dynamic Vice Chancellor of the University, Professor Dr. Chetan Trivedi Sir, who always brings indeed a new innovative themes and concept for the webinar and explore a new knowledge with us. I would like to request you, sir, for welcome speech for our guests and honorable experts. Chetan Trivedi, sir.
Very good morning and namaskar to all. Honorable, respected Minister of the State and our elder visionary leader, Bhupendra C. Chudasama Sahib, equally honorable and visionary educationist, Lady Madam Anju Sharma Ma'am, today's expert, Parin Somani ji, Jagdish Joshi ji, Om ji. It is an immense pleasure that this journey of this coronical education and COVID-domic things started from 19th April under the leadership and guidance of Bhupendra Singh ji. This is our 14th online program, where we have engaged more than 135,000 students, academicians, parents, and all among all 4 districts of Bhakt Kavi Narsi Mehta University and other universities too. I also welcome other vice chancellors of the other universities, academicians of other universities, and people joined with us through Facebook, through YouTube, and through this platform. Now, the way in which our education minister and education department jointly taken this mohim of reaching to the students community, reaching to the people, reaching to the parents, it has created a tremendous positive atmosphere among the mind and mentality of students. Even the CoViD Kiran that has been inaugurated by Bhupendra Singh ji, it's a great example of such nature. we have taken various examples and various subjects like Ayurveda, yoga, nature, environment, and the last webinar that happened about Pavitra Yatra Dham Girnar, a Sankat Mochan, where Bharti Bapu and Shernath Bapu has talked a tremendous wonderful thing about Bhav, Bhojan and Bhajan, and more than 35,000 people joined with us. So this was a platform where we have, it is what our Sanskriti, we have always fought against all kind of inventions and all kinds of attacks. And this is also kind of attack where we positively fought against it. And in the form of this education reforms, we all have started doing the things. Now for students, we are also going to conduct our exams from 25th, a very small number of students, 60 centers, 6,000 students. So per center, 100, 120 students with complete precautions and all. So steadily and smoothly, we all are getting strength. We all are getting powers. We are all are getting motivations. In that scenario, today's webinar is a very important mark. It will talk about human resource development. And in our, if you look at the Indian tradition and Indian custom, we all have been having a practice of learning all the things at a time. हम लोगों की संस्कृति में 64 arts की भी परिकल्पनाएं थी. So where we are going with the new paradigms of education, at that time we have to manage some new resources, some new platforms, and newness, novelty, surprise that will come to us. And I'm sure that we are the first learner of the world and we have started inventions. That's why for us nothing is impossible. And this is a new concept, some international concept, how we can compete with world competitions. And today we have wonderful speakers, those who have roamed all over the globe, and they have contributed a lot in the field of education, and especially where we have a shelter of our Bhupendra Singh ji, Anju madam. I also remember here our Vibhavri Ben Dave madam. She has also given a motivation to us. And in a way, once again, I welcome you all. And without talking much of that, I request to further the program. Thank you very much. Microphone.
Appreciative. Thank you, Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, for your grateful welcome speech on this international webinar. As always, it's most motivational and inspiring. I remember the quote of Mahatma Gandhi today: education is a backbone of society and is largely responsible for its upliftment. The aim of this webinar is to provide a space for discussion, and I ensure the webinar will be very fruitful to the enhancement of quality in human resource development in higher education in India. Now, we move on the first expert speech of the webinar. I am honored to invite our today's expert speaker, Dr. Jagdish Joshi, sir, for deliver a speech and share a knowledge and information regarding human resource development in higher education after COVID-19. Jagdish Joshi, sir.
Thank you. Greetings from Gujarat, India, to all those who are listening and watching me. I would like to congratulate the team of Bhakta Kavi Narsi Mehta University, Junagadh, for organizing an international webinar, which is the need of the day. Thank you, Professor Dr. Chetan Trivedi, the Vice Chancellor, and Dr. Om Joshi, convener of the webinar of Bhakta Kavi Narsi Mehta University, Junagadh, for giving me an opportunity to share this platform. I would like to thank you for connecting people during the time of physical disconnect and social distancing. It is end of lockdown 4 and beginning of unlock 1. I would like to greet respected Shri Bhupendra Singh Chudasama ji, Honorable Education Minister, Government of Gujarat, a very respected person in field of education and politics. Respected Shri Anju Sharma ji, IS, Honorable Principal Secretary, Education Department, Government of Gujarat. Professor Dr. Chetan Trivedi ji, Honorable Vice Chancellor of the University. Lady Parin Somani ji, well-known author and multi-international awardee from London, UK. Om Joshi, convener of the international webinar. I'd like to greet and welcome all the team members of the Bhakta Kavi Narsi Mehta University, Junagadh, the organizing team of the webinar, and all the participants. There are notable effects of the present panic situation on human beings across the globe. I would like to talk about human resource development in higher education after COVID-19. When we would like to look at the effects of it, and after COVID-19, we should have a look at what was happening before this COVID-19 or COVID epidemic came in 2020, it affected higher education or human resource development in the scene. We all are aware that the scene was like that in the country, higher education and the upliftment of higher education, the dissemination of knowledge, the dissemination of training to human resource develop human resources was done by various agencies. There are various agencies, various councils, various universities who are working for developing human resource. When I look at human resources working in higher education, I look at them in three different parts. First and foremost important are the students. For whom we have created this whole system. The other part, again very important part, is academicians, and the pillar of it, the backbone of it, are the administrators. So these are the three major pillars. These are the three parts of human resources who are working in higher education. I would like to say that whenever we talk about human resource development in higher education, it was almost face-to-face, and that was advocated. Whenever there was a need of trainings, whenever there was a need of skill improvement, skill upliftment, the trainings were organized by different agencies. I would like to take an example of human resource development centers working in higher education. There are such 66 human resource development centers working with support of University Grants Commission and governments, state governments, and they were catering to the needs of academicians and administrations working in higher education in India. So that was the scene. That is what we could see. Now, let me try to have a look at that what is happening for this human resource development during Corona epidemic, this 2020. When I talk about this, I would like to recite two lines which are very favorite to our education minister also. And they are, Dharti ki shaan tu hai, Manu ki santan, teri muthiyon mein band tufan hai. Manushya tu bada mahan hai, bhul mat, Manushya tu bada mahan hai. And we have proved it. We have started fighting back. Zoom has zoomed in, the one which you are using now. The word which was used for a camera zoom, or whenever we talk about zoom, we used to look at camera and zooming the picture. Till now, it has got a different meaning, but altogether the meaning has changed. Meetings have started, online meetings have started, Cisco WebEx, Gisti Meet, Microsoft Team, Namaskar, Abbe Live, and very popular one, YouTube. This all become familiar to us. We have started making the best use of this. Those who used to advocate face-to-face or not timings for the workplace have switched over to digital platforms. And they have also advocated and started working from home. Webinars mushroomed. A lot of work is going on for professional development, human resource development from different corners. People started taking the chances. People started taking these challenges, and they've started working on different aspects of this. I don't want to go into much detail of this because we all are aware of what is going on around us. Now let's come to the scene which I think what will happen to us or what should be taken care of when we think of post-corona epidemic. I would like to quote the president and CEO of SHRM, which is a very big human resource development firm. And the president is John Taylor. I've quoted him quite often, and I would like to quote him today also. He says, the headlines were that, the headlines about Corona in news or in print media or in electronic media, they were that this was a healthcare crisis. That means Corona was looked at as healthcare crisis. Over time, we have come to understand that this is a global people crisis. That means I would like to say it is a human crisis. As far as human resource development is concerned, we have to be very careful because the decisions which we'll make today, or within these weeks will have long-term impact on our life, on our society, on higher education, on students, on employees, and on country. So we should have to be very careful. We have to make sure that whatever decisions we are taking, that should be taken based on right information, and we should try to look at it. We should try to research before making these decisions. And I'm very happy that the decisions taken by our country are proving really right and worth. Social distance and fear. It was needed that fear is to be created, that people should take it very seriously. Lockdown was very much needed and lockdown was done. We were locked in the home. I guess again, this is a historical event. I don't think that in a history, such event would have happened. Friends, when we read history after 10 years or 15 years, the histories will be divided into three different segments. One history is a time or events occurred before Corona. One is during Corona and one is post-Corona. Lot of literature has already coming out, and it is coming out to us, which describes the effects of Corona and whatever is happening to mankind, humankind, and people working in these situations. The first thing which will require, as far as human resource is concerned, as far as higher education is concerned, will be we have to restore the trust and safety understanding of the academicians, administrators, and students, all working in higher education. We have to extend it to the parents also. I was reading in some newspapers somewhere just before 3-4 days that there are parents who are saying that, okay, we are not ready to send our children to the schools and colleges. The parents, we can understand the predicament. We can understand their fear. This fear is created by us only because we explored, we floated the messages and we told them that this is very dangerous. And that is not at all wrong. It is dangerous. But the first thing required is when we restore the schools and colleges, we have to train our people working in academic institutions, whether they are academicians or administrators. We have to brief them. We have to make them aware that how to fight with this. We have to be ready for change. Change, which is the only constant. Friends, see, this kind of things come and go. But as it was said that Manusya tu bada mahan hai, we need to fight back. We need to know that what the situation is and how to do it. Now, how to do it is we have to prepare ourselves. We have to keep ourselves ready for such situations for future also and the present situation also. I would like to quote UGC here, which has suggested that now for the next semesters, 25% of the teaching should happen online. Even I would like to say, I would like to respect that government of Gujarat has also declared similar kind of guidelines. And they've also said that, okay, for the next semester, online education is to be promoted for a major part of it, or maybe about 20-25%. So when we talk about this kind of teaching will be a blend. If I look at it from a theoretical angle of academician, this is a face-to-face and this is online. So it is a blended mode. Some education will be disseminated online, some education will be disseminated offline. Learning, and when we talk about education, it includes many things like learning, teaching, research, and extension activities. It's not just the classroom. We have to think about all the activities which are involved in this. It will be changed. The way will be changed, how we will try to do it. But friends, I would like to tell you one thing. I'm sure the things may look like that it will be so much change, but I'm sure that almost things will be similar after COVID-19 also. One thing has changed, and that I would like to quote a protagonist of Ernest Hemingway from Old Man and the Sea, and he says, man is made not for defeat. A man can be destroyed but not defeated. So I would like to say that we are ready for it. Almost we will try to look at it in a similar way. When there was terrorist attack on Mumbai, just after a few days, Mumbai was almost calm and it was on routine. Like that, if you look at the streets of Ahmedabad, if you look at the streets of Gujarat, if you look at the places of India, almost people, they come out and they started working. But one thing is remarkable in this, and that I would like to tell you, friends, and that is there is a big change in the attitude of human beings. There is a big change in the attitude of teachers, academicians, students, and those whosoever are working in this environment. Now, there is a need to nurture this attitude. And what is the change in the attitude? And the change in the attitude is, see the number today. The number is, I was told that the number is more than 5,000 who is attending this webinar. Like this university itself has organized more than 20-30 webinars. And almost all the universities of Gujarat under the guidance of Education Ministry has organized a number of webinars. And if you look at the number who took participated in, who took benefit of this, that goes in lakhs and millions. So friends, the attitude started changing. We started caring more for people. We started looking at people with more respect. And one thing is sure, everybody working in higher education and at other fields, they thought that we have to equip ourselves. Let us try to sharpen our skills. Let us try to go for better skills for ourselves. The biggest challenge which I look at when I look at this unlock to the universities and government is to bring them back to routine and to sustain the spirit of learning, to enable them to work with a double force. When I say that we need to enable them to work with double force, I here remember our Mahatma Gandhi ji. What he said is, I have the belief that I can do it. I shall surely acquire the capacity to do it. Even if I may not have it at the beginning, but I should acquire it. Now here the role comes. We need to acquire the capacity. We need to acquire the capacity to deal with this. And we need to sharpen the capacity of our friends, our fellow people, our peer working in higher education, to develop their capacity, that how they can work in a better way. How they can really come out with double force and really make it visible to the people and really make it worth for our educational fraternity. Friends, I would like to say that when I look at the world, people are talking about that we will go for blended learning, we'll go for online learning, or we'll go for a lot of other options. But really, are they ready for this? When I look at the world, I would really think, and I'm convinced that India, and particularly state of Gujarat, can lead the world in this also. In education, we can come out with something, some sort of a formula which can really give show a way to people, which can really create a pathway to people. And that can be, let me discuss it with you, that there are multiple options of human resource development what can be thought of. The basic thing is teachers have to be trained in different way. Students have to be trained in different way so that they can really face this and they can make use of this opportunity. How this can be done? I have researched a lot on this, and I haven't found that any uniform efforts have been made by any country or any state in the world till now regarding this. They are saying, okay, universities should go for this, colleges should go for this, but no uniform efforts are made. And I guess that this kind of uniform efforts can be made by our state government or maybe our country. What can be done? The first thing and foremost important thing is, when we say that we want to go for blended learning, when we want to go for online learning, the first thing required is we should try to train all the teachers, all the professors working in higher education, whether in a college or a university, about developing e-content, about using e-content, about making optimum use of e-content. How this can be done? It is not a difficult idea, friends. We can have trainings for all the teachers who are working in higher education. We can go for a uniform kind of training, and through this uniform kind of training, we can teach them various components related to e-content. Exactly, there are various ideas of people about e-content. We can make them aware about what e-content is, how easy it is to create. Friends, I tell you, our professors, our teachers have a lot of content with them, and their content, their delivery, their presentation style is their strength. They are having a lot of skills, they are having a lot of presentability. Thus, that is to be diverted to a way that it can be presented through online also. And that is not very difficult. So first thing is, all the teachers working in higher education, they should be made aware of various ways of developing e-content. Basics of e-content, 4-quadrant approach, what it is, they can be made aware of making use of whatever handy tools are available with them. We all have our mobiles. We all have, I guess, computer labs in our colleges, or we have laptops with many of us. Let us not think about that okay, if we want to create e-content, we will really require too many things, or it is a rocket science. No, friends, it is very easy. Just we need to make them aware that how using this mobile, how using this laptop, how using this computer or simple web camera, you can create e-content. And these I am talking about video and audio content. Already we have a lot of written notes, our material, our ebooks, our on books, and many other resources which already we are using in the classes and colleges. So this can be done in a synchronized way, and that can be a very big platform for all of us of e-content. Second thing required is we have to think of online classrooms. How can we come out with that? How can we go for online classrooms? Friends, we together can make a difference. I would like to quote our Honorable Prime Minister here. We walk together, we move together, we think together, we resolve together, and together we take this opportunity or this country forward. So friends, it should be our will. It should be our idea that really we would like to take this country forward and we would like to go for it. Online classrooms, again, not a rocket science. We can very easily go for this. How? Let me give you a very simple example, friends. There are various free tools available, like Google Classroom is available free of charge. Microsoft Teams is available free of charge. Moodle is available free of charge. What is to be done? Just the idea is to be done is our teachers are to be sensitized about how to use this, how to make optimum use of this. But when we want to go for these platforms, when we want to use such platforms, the important thing is we have to create synchronized efforts. How synchronized efforts? We can think of synchronized efforts in a way that the teachers from different universities in different subjects, let me take example of compulsory English. Those are teaching compulsory English. Let us take an example of one state. Let us take example of our state only. Why other state? Let us say Gujarat. I am taking it as an example. Suppose in Gujarat, there are 15 traditional universities. We can have people from all 15 traditional universities for subject coordinator for each subject. And this subject coordinator, in synchronized with each other, can look at all the compulsory English syllabuses. And they can come out with that what is most common in the syllabuses. E-content for those syllabuses can be developed by those who are very good in ICT. Say, for example, 20 professors from Gujarat can be identified and they can prepare best e-content possible for this using BISEC, using video, whatever facilities are available with different universities like Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Open University or BISEC or EMRC of Gujarat University, or there are many multimedia facilities available. That content can be prepared. This content on each subject, not just on compulsory English, can be prepared. 25% of the syllabuses can be prepared in digital e-content. This can be done just in a month. Parallel, on one hand, training can go on. Parallel, similarly, on one hand, content can be developed. This both the things in synchronize this content, then later on should be available on the website of our education department or any education department. This content can be available on the website of universities. And now the most important part comes. Content is available in various ways to people. But how this content will reach our students? This content can reach our students with our teachers only. Teachers, you are most important for that. I suggest all of you that when you had training and you know that how to create a classroom, you will just go to your college or at your home, you will make a list of your students and you will create one Google Classroom or Microsoft Meet Classroom or Moodle Classroom, any classroom, whatever you're interested in. Suppose you have 200 students in one class or 100 students in one class, you create one digital class. It is virtual class. In this class, you will use this material which is prepared by the experts as a support, and now you are the judge. You are the best person. You know the problems of your students and you know the strength of your students. You know weakness of your students and you know reality of your class and the place and geographical situation. What you can do is you can now start preparing your own material. You can start with simple notes. You can start with simple audio recorded on your WhatsApp or mobile. You can start with simple video recorded on your mobile. This can be shared. This is your class now. You can deliver your written material. You can deliver your notes, you can deliver reference material, you can test them, you can conduct tests also, you can ask them to go for a lot of activities, what not. See, like a real classroom, we can go for a virtual classroom, which can happen, and this we can really do together. If friends, if we have a will, if we really decide that we want to do this for our fraternity, We want to do this for our students. We can do this together. Now, I understand that many of you will think that, okay, how this can be done? Our students will see that, okay, we will learn, but we are not that much good in ICT. Friends, I tell you here what can be done is one ICT cell can be created. That ICT cell, with the support of some expert team of about 10 people, can help any teacher who has a problem, can help setting up classroom to the teacher. They can share the computer online just by using some TeamViewer or such softwares. Classrooms can be set up, material can be disposed, that can be uploaded. Any teacher, each teacher, whosoever has a problem, that can be solved here. One maybe a line can be created, toll-free phone number. One email address can be created where the students and teachers can access and can discuss about this. And friends, I tell you, support system, just 3 steps. First step, training to all the teachers of Gujarat. Second step, creation of e-content. And this creation of e-content with the support of universities only, that will be uploaded on the websites of the universities, and that material will be used by each college. And third most important is, teacher will create each class for each subject. And fourth most important, support to this each teacher. Teacher should not feel that he is alone there. He must be holded his hand. His hand must be holded by us, our people, universities, government, and anybody. I tell you, friends, this has not been done by any government at present anywhere in the world. This can be thought of as a good idea, and this can be executed for the betterment of betterment of our education. I would like to tell you, friends, our teachers and our students, they are very keen to learn. They are very keen to use these facilities. They are very keen to make optimum use of these things. Let me give you a simple example. Just before a few days, we have organized such, which I am talking about, that kind of training only, for online e-content development course. And friends, you will be surprised to know that in the first batch, I have received 400 applications from across India. We have completed that successfully, and I have received many requests from all over the country that would like to go for this course. We are left out. We have conducted second phase of it. I have received 1,300 applications from all over the India, and we have conducted that also successfully. Third phase, I have received 700 applications. So teachers are ready to learn. They really want to do. Our fraternity is really thriving to do it. They have been waiting for an opportunity where they can really make a difference. Just there is a need to synchronize this. There is a need to make optimum use of this, and that will make a difference. We need to come out of the stereotypes, and we need to accept the change. I know, friends, in each college, in each university, there may be a couple of people who are very good in ICT, but there are 90%, 100% of people who are very good in content and presentation. So we can see, we should identify our ability, and we should present that ability to the world and the students in this scenario. That is very, very much needed. We need to nurture the spirit of change, acceptance, and be ready for the future. Friends, it is not so that such epidemic has happened for just one time. It has happened earlier also. It may happen in future also. The chances are there that future wars may be atomic wars, or future wars may be biological weapon war, or maybe chemical weapon war. When there will be such wars, such condition may happen once again also. It is our duty of the university. It is a duty of people working in higher education to equip our students and the fraternity and human resources working in higher education to be ready to face such situations. See, friends, if we really would like to make our citizens ready for this, they are in our hands, because our students are the future citizens of country. It is in our hand because we deal with the students who are really future of any country or nation. So if we will make them ready, if we will prepare them for various challenges, they will be able to face them very easily. Look at the scenes, friends. Those who don't change, they wither away. Look at what happened to Nokia. Look at the story of Nokia and Samsung. What happened? The Nokia was a synonym for mobile. It has gone. Nobody remembers it. Now people look at Samsung, or maybe Samsung may be lost tomorrow. There may be another company which will be very popular. Look at the businesses and opportunities which are coming to us. That is, it is said, and I would like to again quote our Honorable Prime Minister here. He says many a time, "Aafat ko avsar mein paltana." If you can convert challenges into opportunities, then you can really make difference. Friends, this is a challenge to us. This is a challenge to mankind. This is a challenge to humankind. We all are challenged by this coronavirus. It is saying, okay, I can do this. But if you can take this as opportunity, and if you can face it, if you can fight it, then you can come out as a winner. I would like to quote here, what matters the most is not what our obstacles are, but how we see them. See, how we look at corona is more important. How we look at obstacle is more important. How we react to them. And whatever we keep, and whether we keep our composure, that means whatever way we look at it, whatever our reaction is, our reaction makes difference. Exactly, many a time, the problem is not that much big, but our reaction makes it big. So here, friends, it is a time for all of us, human resource developers in a way, human resource development of teachers, human resource development of the academicians, and human resource development of the students. We have to be together, and we together can make a difference. We together can prepare ourselves to face it in the best way. See, there are many incubation centers which are supported to us. There are many startup and innovation centers given to us. There are various facilities given to us by various governments, whether they are state governments or central governments. We try to make optimum use of it. Whether we'd like to go for online or offline, it should be benefited, and it should be in such a way that our people can be benefited. I would appreciate the effort. See what changes are happening. Those who were not ready to come to face camera, they all are now talking to us using these webinars. They are talking to us using these cameras. So these changes are happening here, and we should try to make optimum use of it. At the same time, we should learn, we should train our students and ourselves to maintain the distance which is required, 6 feet distance. See, for this we need to develop mindset of ourselves and our students. If mindset will not be developed, how can we do that? We have to create a culture of doing things remotely. Say, for example, at present we are conducting this meeting or webinar remotely. For our college meeting, for our university meeting, for our meeting of various places, why can't we use webinars? Or why can't we use such facilities which are available to us free of cost? We can make optimum use of it. By that, we can have our fruitful meetings. We can conduct those things, and they are risk-free. We should look at the way. See, it may be possible that some teachers of subclass may not be able to perform their duties due to some this corona kind of things or disease or some other things. In that situation, we have to be ready to take those responsibilities also. So in short, we have to equip ourselves with the best trainings. We should look at, when we go back to our classes, when we go back to our schools, it is not just teaching and learning. We should prepare ourselves for rescue management. We should prepare ourselves for disaster management. We should try to go for some fire mock drills. This should be a regular part of our HR development, our student development. I know that many schools and colleges may be doing this, but I suggest all the universities and all the colleges, we should think of this, and we should develop a mentality, a training, a procedure for crisis management. See, crisis management is to be developed in a way that we can meet up with any kind of crisis which comes to us. I guess these ideas will be useful to us, and this is how we can go for such kind of crisis. We can face such kind of crisis. There is a need to provide some resources to our people also. When we say resource development, at the same time, resource management is also very important. Resource management in a say, friends, see, there are a lot of OERs available, open educational resources. We should try to make optimum use of open educational resources. Like I would like to say, current researches should be available to us. How to video, how to audio, that should also be made available to us. Friends, what happens is, I tell you friends, the most important thing today is, or most important thing for teachers, or most important valuable thing for teachers today is, we should understand, realize the importance of collaborative work. See, if I quote Robert John Mahan, who says the most valuable resource that all teachers have is each other, you and me, all of us. Without collaboration, our growth is limited to our own perspectives. So I think with this, I would like to conclude that now we should collaborate, We together should try to help each other. We together should try to support each other, and together we can make a difference. We can fight 100 such threats like corona together, and we can make a difference. I would like to thank all of you. Thank you once again.
I understood that your speech and knowledge you said here on human resource and development in higher education, on a new initiative developing paths for higher education. Thank you so much, sir, for your remarkable speech. Now we move on to the second session of the webinar. I would like to invite our encouraging expert speaker, Ms. Parin Somani ma'am, as she is multi-international award winner, international motivational speaker and author. When this entire world is facing and fighting with the pandemic coronavirus disease, ma'am, recently you are recovered from COVID-19. I would request to share your thoughts on human resource development and experience of COVID-19. Please, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Joshi, for your kind introduction and for inviting me today. It is a great privilege and my pleasure to be with you amongst great dignitaries. Honorable Minister of Education of Gujarat, Shri Chudasama, Honorable and Shrimati Dave, Principal Secretary of Education, Mrs. Sharmaji, Vice Chancellor Professor Dr. Trivedi, Professor Dr. Joshi, Director of UGC HRDC Gujarat University, and all the delegates who have joined on this virtual conference today to share our knowledge and ideas and how we can explore and progress HRD in the higher education after COVID-19. And I would like to thank all the organizers for organizing such an amazing conference, which will help not just to only one group, but there will be many groups. It will be helpful. Please, can I ask you that if I can take a moment to share my presentation? Thank you. Don't do anything, please. Thank you. First of all, I would like to ask ourselves, how much do we know and how much do we understand about COVID-19? As we know, COVID-19 virus is a respiratory illness affecting our lungs and airways. It is transmitting through the human context when droplets of saliva or discharge of an infected person through coughing, sneezing, or exhaling is touched by an uninfected person who then be contacted, and because of the transmission, touches their eyes, nose, or mouth. The virus of today's by 7th of June 2020 has resulted 6,970,943. This is the figure globally has been affected by these coronavirus cases. 401,978,000 deaths because of coronavirus. Therefore, social distancing measures have been successfully implemented to reduce transmission. Theoretically, it is very easy for us to read about COVID-19 and attempt to understand, but to experience this virus, it's a very different thing. In March, I was invited to Spain to present my research paper at the international conference, INTED 2020, consisting of approximately 600 delegates for 65 countries around the world. Upon returning from the conference, on the very same day, I was invited to receive the She Inspires Award 2020 at the House of Parliament in England. Within a week to 10 days, suffered with a high temperature, continuous cough, breathing was very difficult, and I had a severe lack of energy. The last time I felt nothing close to losing my life was when I battled life-threatening cancer on 2 separate occasions, 1 decade apart from each other. So feeling the consequences of this tested positive with the coronavirus was devastating. I was determined to get better. I knew that I had to defeat the current coronavirus better. Each time I suffered an illness, my motivation to good health got stronger and stronger. When I remembered my motto, which I will share with you, the purpose of my life is to help humanity until my last breath, I felt like I had more breaths to take. Therefore, as I regained some energy and could breathe more efficiently, I started to involve myself in new initiatives to help people within these unprecedented circumstances. As soon as I felt unwell again, I would stop, then start again. When I felt better, this continued until I returned to good health. This enabled me to look to the future with hope. Through my experiences, I aim to provide hope in the future for every person struggling, offer an inspiration to face diversity and adversity, the motivation to acquire knowledge, the understanding on how truly valuable our lives are, and guide others during these unprecedented circumstances. I had understood that the way I previously reached out to the people with the human interaction would not be possible during this pandemic. My method would have to change, and if I desired to provide hope in the future. So I started utilize virtual platform to share my knowledge and aim to inspire society at large. So how has COVID-19 affected us? The COVID-19, just give me a second. I think so my sharing screen has just stopped. Excuse me. The COVID-19 is an international pandemic, has turned out world upside down. Higher education is affected globally. Education, learning, and gaining knowledge has not stopped. And it will never, because education is like a flowing river connected to large ocean. When approaching a barrier, it will find new ways to emerge to reach its destination. Nothing can stop it. COVID-19 has obviously had an effect on our education system, stopping students from coming to their universities, schools, colleges, so that they can be safe at home, which is vital. But this cannot and has not stopped our process of learning and imparting knowledge. As human beings, we are creatures of habits. Do we like change? No. We forget that even the surface of the earth at the equator moves at the speed of 460 meters per second, or approximately 1,000 miles per hour. So within this year, changing world has particularly made a lot of change after COVID-19 pandemic. We must adapt a new ways of educating our students and ourselves. Find new innovative methods to aspire learning and acquire knowledge. As an educator within higher education in HRD, What is our aim? It is to create an environment that encourages students to develop themselves, that they feel motivated to achieve their goals to the full potential and feel supported to excel with their own lives, and through them they can help other students. As the circumstances within our lives changes, time progresses, do our perspectives on those situations not change? Of course they do. The way that we look at those situations also change. There are continuous advancement in education, new discoveries, and technological advancement. All of this requires continuous growth. There is need to develop new competence in order to meet ever-changing requirement. Then we'll think, why do you think HRD in higher education is important? It is because it includes the process of competence development which enables students to create a future. It also provides them with the tools and the correct conditions to apply those competences, not only to help themselves, but also to help others. But also, how can this be achieved? Through lectures, forums, programs, public policies, and other intervention. When we talk about the development component of HRD, what do you consider? Development requires understanding human competence and the role within the economics. The correct psychological approach to this term is to realize the importance of attitudes, value, and motivation, which are all key to learning and intellectual growth. This process of intellectual growth is everlasting because our individual development is not restricted. There is always something new to learn. If this is the case, what do you think the main role of HRD is? I would say that the main role, objective of HRD is the capacity to build happy and healthy life through education, targeting weak areas of our skill set that requires focus to strengthen and develop ourselves. We can achieve this by working together. This also includes learning new methods of teaching and learning, which can alter with societal circumstances. This has been illustrated through the COVID-19 global pandemic. So how can we incorporate this COVID-19 pandemic to enhance learning in higher education? As the world changes, we must transform the way we learn and the way we transmit knowledge through teaching. But we need to ensure that our methods of transmission is perceived to be sensitive. Students will be facing a variety of different emotions and many unanswered questions, just as we do. But through our role within higher education, it is up to us to learn how to motivate and encourage students to have hope in the future. So let's think, how do we taught and learn prior to the COVID-19 pandemic? Within higher education institution, learning and teaching was generally carried out in a room or a lecture theater, where physical human interaction was necessary. Students would sit next to each other unless there was an empty chair next to them. And the educator would stand at the front of the lecture theater. Both educator and the students would interact with each other, intercepting with questions and answers. Body language and attention span of the group would be gauged. Educator will be able to determine punctuality within their classes and leave the lecture theatre would be physical voluntary action. The interaction between students for clarity on perspective through collaborating, learning, and peer learning, or even socially, was possible. It has been found through studies that the effectiveness of human interaction is positive with reciprocal. Teaching and learning by teaching, learning by observation, learning by doing, self-other monitoring. So how can we adapt these effective teaching methods within higher education during and after COVID-19 pandemic? It is simple. They need to be conveyed through another medium. Education cannot stop. Change is always challenging, but also exciting. However, living within a technological society with a new development makes challenging situation much easier. So we need to evolve HRD learning through our mediums. Fortunately, we now have access to the internet resources that were not readily available to us in the past. We can use virtual platforms to carry out sessions to educate students. I understand that this is not physical human interaction, but it's the closest that we can get, educating our students and staying safe. This virtual interaction provides us as educators to pass our knowledge to students and help their progress without stopping. So how can we evolve and enhance HRD in higher education? We know that the technology was user prior to the pandemic, but now it is more widely used. It is done through using interactive video conferencing software, programs like Zoom, like what we are doing right now. This allows students to participate and seek education together in one session. There is a facility to ask questions within chat room function or raise virtual hands, which enables reciprocal teaching. Using online platform provides the flexibility to reduce within the sessions at the different times, to keep the participants engaged in groups, one-to-one. When leading the busy life, time is luxury. We sometimes find it difficult to fit everything in one day, especially we work and have a family commitment. Every moment is precious. So online learning in higher education can allow sessions flexibility. If students cannot attend the morning session, they can join an evening session from the comfort of their own home. This also saves travel time and the cost of the traveling. To enhance students' learning online after COVID-19, what strategies can be implemented? There are various approaches that can be taken. All online sessions should be recorded unless they are of sensitive nature. That requires a safe space for peer interaction. The video content should be made available for the students' access if they require further understanding or missed a session. This is important for learning by observation, so there should be video presenting of the lecture being delivered. The presence of supporting e-learning, reading material, exercise, activities, and quizzes is also very important, that is learning by doing. This can be carried out multiple times and can be accessed. When required, as this learning through self-monitoring, group session, promoting actions and helping students to understand There are methods to facilitate group breakouts, sessions within the Zoom software, or promote collaborating peer learning. Educators are able to distribute various activities and tasks within sessions at the different times to engage the students to enhance reciprocal teaching. If you just bear with me for a second, my sharing screen is just just a moment. My sharing screen has just literally stopped working. Just wait for a second. Keep it closed. Okay. Excuse me. Can you think of any other strategies we can make use of e-tutorials to stimulate to participant learning, as this can be read by participants? It can include videos and audios, animation and demonstration, and video transcription to ease learning. Self-contractual material including case studies, references, web resources, other resources, and suggested material or related links, research papers, journals, articles, e-articles. This can also be accompanied by e-text, which will be visible in an organized content format. All material must be intellectually stimulating to motivate the students to learn. I'm sure you will agree, no course is completed without assessment. Online assessment should be made available containing questions and answers, short or long questions and answers, multiple choice, matching questions, filling the gaps, and MCQ. Through this, there are clarities of misconceptions. HRD in higher education should be seek to include a discussion forum, including a safe virtual place where ideas can be discussed and clarity can be found. This is a way of learning by teaching and contributing to others what they have learned. Now, we have looked at the various components to enhance HRD. Post-COVID-19, do you think there will be any challenges? Of course, there will be challenges experienced both by educators and students. There may be difficulties encountered. As you can see that I have faced the difficulty in getting the technology here. These issues may incur accessing to the hardware and software problems with internet connectivity and insufficient bandwidth to speech clarity. The loss of internet connection in the middle of lectures creating a problem for educators and students. The use of the correct softwares and technical issues. Additional factors may also include reluctance to change or difficulties in learning a new way of teaching or gaining education, gaining knowledge. Over time, hopefully, these challenges will overcome. What does the future of higher education currently looks like? We shape the future through our action and our lessons from what we are doing right now. Therefore, there is a requirement for online courses made available to all students. One way this can be accomplished is by using massive open online course. Any course that is chosen within HRD should have the aim of making all sessions easy to understand, that students have easy to join the program. This can be done through training participants on the new technology and software chosen by the university. Online links, and with that link, the literature should be sent out to the students by email so that they can be educated through a step-by-step process. Clear guidance of expectation of attendance, assignment, exams, and receiving certificate should be available. HRD in higher education should ensure all the courses are easily available. A structure following the Government of India programs such as Swayam could be followed. It is the latest program designed to achieve access, equality, and quality. The objective of that course is to teach the best learning resources. Similar programs like include Coursera and edX are the important programs. These are easily available online. These are tried and tested programs with positive results. I feel that the current situation, while we are in the middle of pandemic, is a good time to try and pilot sessions. We can then receive feedback on it, then implement strategies to make the courses offered online easier. Until face-to-face lectures are followed in the future of HRD and higher education is online. After COVID-19 pandemic, a strategy has been in place. This can be actioned through sessions that have already taken place during the pandemic and appropriately amended, but until the human interaction is allowed again, precaution will need to be taken until there is a vaccine available. Until that point, the following government guidelines, wearing the proper equipment like mask and gloves, implementing social distancing procedure, it is important to stay safe. Therefore, it is imperatively use online methods to educate our students, but also to use as a platform to inspire them and instill the hope in the future. So we remind them that yes, this pandemic has brought many challenges. The world is upside down. But now, how we can turn back? How we can put this thing straight? You are the future, the master of your own. You are the future and you are the master of your own destiny. When people around you are unwell and hungry, power and money you make alone is immaterial. We want to be the part of the wider solution, not the problem. But how? I have 3 important tips to share with you. Number 1, believe in yourself. Believe in yourself, and nothing in life is constant. Even like a caterpillar. Caterpillar changes into a beautiful butterfly. So know that you have strength to create positive change and inspire others. Do not be afraid. Do not be afraid of the change. The world has faced previous challenges: war, disease, political unrest, financial crisis. We came out of resilient and stronger than before. We learned from the past and create a better future. You can make this country prosperous once again. Number 2, follow your true instinct. Do not forget your ethical values. Do the right things. Be kind, be humble, be generous, be fair, help each other. Number 3, be the person that builds bridges. respect diversity despite background, ethnicity, social, political, or religious lookouts. Remember, this is your country. This is our country. You can change the future. You can make all positive impact on the society at large. Start with your family and friends. I always believe that by working together, we can make a positive change. Mahatma Gandhi stated, true education must correspond to the surrounding circumstances, or it is not a healthy growth. We must accept this new normal life and change with it. Because, as Buddha quotes, one moment can change a day, one day can change a life, and one life can change the world. I hope this has inspired you. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for your encouragingly meaningful speech. We are grateful to listen expert like you. You talked about your own experience, attitude, and behavior of a corona patient. Really, you felt the experience and elaborate on your way. And you motivated so many people of nation and for the special state of Gujarat. Definitely, your talk is beneficial to the entire participants. Now, I would like to invite our renowned guest and our Principal Secretary, Education Department, Anju Sharma ma'am, for explore the ideas on human resource development in higher education. Anju Sharma ma'am.
નમસ્કાર. આજના આ વેબિનારમાં ઉપસ્થિત માનનીય શિક્ષણ મંત્રી શ્રી ચુડાસમા સર, કુલપતિ શ્રી નરસિંહ મહેતા યુનિવર્સિટી શ્રી ચેતનભાઈ, શ્રી જગદીશભાઈ, Parin madam, and all the viewers. Both the experts have given very good idea about how learning is going to change in the coming days in light of the situation that COVID has brought before us, and how we can make the best advantage of the situation and build up online learning forums and make adequate changes in pedagogy. What I have seen in the last 2 months is that our universities, they have really made a lot of changes in their formats. So many of them are now going in for online learning modules. And we have mandated to all of our universities that in the next academic session, starting from 21st of June, they have to start with the learning through online technology only. One of the most important things that we've asked them to do, and I'm sure that they're doing also, is that the entire learning curriculum will have to be divided into sections which are suited to online learning and which are not suited to online learning. So those areas, those topics that are suited to online learning, they should be taken first through online learning. And then the remaining topics, they can be taken through the physical learning module. What are those things that can be imparted through online? And what are those things which have to be imparted through physical? The concepts that are more abstract, concepts that require a lot of conceptual understanding through experimentation or through some models or face-to-face. These have to be transferred to more physical learning because they have to involve a lot of interaction. Without interaction, you cannot learn the finer nuances of these. Whereas things that you have learned in the past also, the basics that you have learned in the past, and now you are only building over them. Things that are simpler and more reading based, those can be gradually move to online. Also things that require a lot of visualization, because a lot of audio visual content you can pass on through the online teaching module. In the online teaching model, a lot of audio visual content goes, so anything which can be explained better by audio and visual, that can go into online learning. Anything that is also visually based, that is that you learn better by seeing, that can also go into online learning, and it is better to learn it online. For example, like sometimes when you watch a movie, it's easier to understand the concept rather than reading it. So what the teachers will have to do, and Jagdish Bhai has been heading the faculty development team of Gujarat University, what they need to do is that the teachers learn to use the audiovisual equipments and lot of audio video media into the learning process. Now, I'll give you one example. When I was in one of the workshops, I was taught, rather in one of the training programs, and I was taught about leadership. So when you're teaching about leadership, if you embed it with the movies, there are a large number of movies you watch, A Few Good Men, or Godfather, or whatever, that will elaborate upon various aspects of leadership. So if you show snippets to them, that these snippets can be utilized to show how leadership works. If you are teaching group behavior, I've been a student of management, so I can talk about that better. Even in science. So all these things can be put together into modules. What modules can be utilized? So when you develop a pedagogy for a subject, you also say that, okay, this is the topic, and here you can show this clip from this video. So that enhanced, the reinforcement takes place and enhanced learning takes place, and the understanding of the concept takes place. So all that hard work will have to be done by the academicians now, by our teachers, to build these online audio video content into our learning. Just, you cannot replace the online teaching by physical teaching just like that. Okay, I used to go to the classroom and I used to deliver a lecture like this and write this thing on board. The same thing I will do now online. That's not going to happen. And if that does, it will ruin the entire thing. It will be highly detrimental to the learning process. But you have to modify your teaching. You have to modify the content in a way that it suits the online content. It's very difficult to hold attention for 50 minutes online, but for 50 minutes you can hold attention in a classroom. So that's also difficult. Because most of us, I remember, in fact, that not at this age, even in younger age, if the lessons are not very interesting, the lectures are not interesting, you tend to doze off. But online, beyond 5 minutes or so, they say 2 minutes, but I say, okay, beyond 5 minutes, it's very difficult to hold attention to the monotonous voice, to the monotonous visual. So there has to be a lot of variation in the content. So if you're giving a lecture giving a class, online class for 50 minutes, it has to have a lot of rich content to uphold that attention. Otherwise, that attention will not come. And if the attention doesn't come, whatever you say, it may just dissipate and it will never bring out the results. So a lot of audio media, a lot of visual media, all that input has to come in the online teaching modules, and it has to be highly variable and fluctuating also. It has to be a kind of something which breaks the monotony. It doesn't cause boredom. We are all humans. Children are human. You cannot give them doses of 50 minutes of a lecture and they will understand it and learn it and take the concept, and you can call them into the examination and ask them to explain the whole thing and reproduce in the examination. That's not going to happen. So I think a lot of hard work will have to be done by our universities to bring those changes in the system. With this, I would like to end my talk. Thank you so much, and thank you for patiently listening to me.
Thank you, ma'am. You have fostered a sense of support and appreciation that allow us as educators to improve our practice daily during this pandemic. Your long hours and hard work make such a difference to ensure the learning and growth of education. Thank you so much, ma'am. As we know that during this pandemic, our Honorable Education Minister of Gujarat, Sri Bhupendra Singh Chudasama sir, has been blessing the webinars and give his encouraging presence in almost of all the webinars and share his knowledge regarding the relevance of the webinar. I would like to invite to deliver a presidential speech to our Honorable Education Minister, sir, Sri Bhupendra Singh Chudasama sir. Please, sir.
Ben Anjuben, Chetanbhai, Pareen, Sumaniben, Jagdishbhai, જોડાયેલા સૌ કોઈ. It is very difficult to speak in the end. And all the time, I have to speak in the end. All the two learned speakers have given their nice speeches. Our secretary has also given good views. મારે થોડી સાવ વ્યવહારિક વાત કરવી છે. પરવીનબેન, તમે ગુજરાતી સમજી શકો છો? I think you belong to Gujarat and
Yeah, I'm a proper Gujarati speaker. I understand, I write. So
Good.
the way you
Good.
talk.
Good. You belong to Rajkot district?
No, I belong to Gujarat, Ahmedabad.
Okay, very good.
And I'm very proud to be from Gujarat and from Ahmedabad, from our MP, from our...
Good. We all are very much proud that a Gujarati man is leading the world nowadays. પહેલા તો હું ચેતનભાઈને એમની ટીમને ખૂબ અભિનંદન આપું છું કે 29મી એપ્રિલે આપણે આ વેબિનાર યોજવાનું નક્કી કર્યું અને એ દિવસથી લઈને આજ સુધી Madam, we decided to arrange webinars. What is the and what will be the effect after Corona, before Corona? And all our government universities as well the private universities also organized webinars on different subjects also. This is webinar part 2.
Okay.
Yeah. It will affect all the sectors, not only education or higher education. Economic, transportation, industry, agriculture, tourism, so many and all, not so many, but all the sectors. After Corona, what will happen? Everything now digital, not physical. We are not habituated. So first of all, we have to create our nature and habit. After Corona, we will have to prepare ourselves because 100% change. We didn't know what we are facing today and what we'll face tomorrow. all of a sudden, but to my mind, this is a change for a chance, and very good chance we are getting, and I'm sure that we'll meet with the chance, meet with the challenges, and use the change also. શિક્ષણમાં પ્રાથમિકમાં પણ ફેરફાર આવશે, ઉચ્ચ શિક્ષણમાં પણ ફેરફાર આવશે, પણ ઉચ્ચ શિક્ષણમાં આપણે થોડા રાહત અનુભવીએ અને થોડા નસીબદાર છીએ કે આપણે સમજદાર પરિપક્વ વિદ્યાર્થી સાથે કામ લેવાનું છે. વધારે અઘરું શિક્ષણમાં પ્રાથમિક માધ્યમિકમાં પડવાનું છે. માસ્ક, સોશિયલ ડિસ્ટન્સ, શિક્ષકે પોતે ટેવાવું પડશે, એનો સ્વભાવ કેળવવો પડશે, અને પછી જ રાતોરાત ઇન્ફ્રાસ્ટ્રક્ચર નહીં બદલાઈ જાય. આ જ સુવિધા, આ જ સગવડતા, આ જ ભૌતિક પરિસ્થિતિ, એમાંથી શ્રેષ્ઠ કરવાનો પ્રયાસ આપણે કરવો પડશે. અને ગુજરાતે તો સ્લોગન આપ્યું છે, આફતને અવસરમાં કેવી રીતે પલટાવી શકાય. In past we have proved our ability also. In these circumstances, I feel this type of continuous webinar will help us. We will have a habit of teaching and learning by this way. For your kind information, even in primary education also, we have successfully taught our little kids through this system. We prepared learning materials, send it to DPO, DO, to the parent of a kid, and for 6 weeks successfully this learning process at his home we could. And in higher education, everybody is prepared now. But different circumstances in the world, different circumstances in the country, we have to first learn the different circumstances of our state also. And first of all, we will have to study the circumstances, and we will have to find the way also. Startup will help us to find a way. So our department, Honorable Chief Minister, also encouraging the students for new startup incubators. This is a good chance for incubators before Corona, because the condition, atmosphere, circumstances are changed. And we are helping also the students. In this webinar, I thank Parin Somani Ben and Jagdish Bhai, and congratulate our Chetan Bhai. He has organized more than 10 webinars. I was absent only in one webinar. In all the webinars, I tried to join. With these words, I conclude. All the best. Jai Jai Garvi Gujarat. Jai Jai Garvi Gujarat.
Thank you, sir. Your encouraging presence and enthusiastic speech are always inspiring. You have motivated us by sharing your expertise and knowledge regarding the webinar. Now we move on the last session of the webinar. I extend my deep thanks to one and all who still stay here with their presence at the concluding session of the webinar. I express my heartfelt thanks to Honorable Education Minister Sri Bhupendra Singh Chudasama sir, Principal Secretary of Education Anju Sharma ma'am. I heartily thank you for making your presence despite your busy schedule. I express my heartfelt thanks to you, today's expert Parin Somani ma'am and Dr. Jagdish Joshi sir, for your motivational and inspiring speech. Thank you so much for your sharing your time and expertise. Let me extend my thanks to Honorable Vice Chancellor of University, Dr. Chetan Trivedi sir. Thank you, sir, for your dedication and great efforts. Always motivate and inspire us for a new adventure and innovation in education. I express my deep thanks to the organizing committee. Lastly, I would like to express my heartfelt thanks to all the participants. You made this live session a success, and it was a great pleasure to all be a part of international webinar. Hopefully, you enjoyed this fruitful discussion and session. Thank you very much. Have a good day ahead. Here we announce the end of the webinar. Thank you so much.